Yo, PokeMoshPit, I'm Mefesto, and today I have an OU game for you against Nelson, I think his name was. Yeah, his name was Nelson. This was quite a decent battle, that's why I'm sending it to this channel, and I guess let's get us on. So we both are going to lead with our Rotom Washes. My Rotom Wash is Choice Scarfed, and right here it's either that I win the speed tie, or he's just generally a slower version of a Rotom Wash. I'm going to go into my Celebi because Celebi walls in for days. That's what Celebi does in OU. He will Volt Switch into his Politoed now, which I kind of didn't understand, but I guess he just wants to get the rain up for the Ferrothorn, because otherwise I will fuck him up with my Heatran. He does switch into it right now, and I'm just going to go for the Giga Drain, just playing it straight, I guess. Does pathetic damage, of course, because it resisted hit 4 times resistance. Now, I see it as an opportunity to go into my Heatran, because most likely he's going to go for the rocks, and I want to get the rocks on my own. But in the rain, Lava Plume will do around 40%, so in order to take him down, I need to weaken him a little bit. He goes for the Leech Seed though, and of course, if he has Protect, he can beat my Heatran in the rain, so I don't want to, make that happen. So I go into my Scizor as he double switches into Rotom, I guess predicting my Lava Plume. But I don't want to take damage on my Scizor just yet, so I'm going to switch into my Celebi. Why the hell not? Walls the Rotom, whatever. He's going to Volt Switch again. I was kind of fearing the trick, but then I was like, well, he won't go for the trick on my Scizor just in case I stay in. So he goes back into his Ferrothorn, same kind of scenario. And instead of staying in recovering, I go into my Scizor. I don't know why. I should have probably recovered, but he switches into his Breloom as I go into my into my Scizor, and I was like, well, he's gonna Spore me. Well, I can get some damage on him, might as well. I get a critical hit, which doesn't kill him, which means he is probably one of those leech-seeding bulky Brelooms, and with the crit on a regular Breloom, it would have killed. So, he puts me to sleep. At least he doesn't have enough for a sub, so I'm going to switch into my Celebi, and especially if he's bulky, he cannot touch Celebi whatsoever. He realizes that, that's why he double switched into Ferrothorn. Good play on his part, I guess. He's kind of over-predicting me now. And instead of recovering again, I go into my Rotom as he predicts that, goes to the Leech Seed. Now, I know he will predict my trick because Ferrothorn is a big threat to my team, and, at this point, I don't want to quite trick him yet because he can predict that as he does here. Goes into his Latios as I just Volt Switch out. Go into my TGS to reset the rain because in the rain surfs are going to hurt. Although I see the leftovers, meaning that he is not a Choice Specs Latios, which is great because it would have been a threat. Now he switches back into Politoed as I'm just going to Crunch. I am a Dragon Dancing TGS, Jolly Life Orb, all that kind of stuff. Crunch does a lot, and it will kill if I go for it again, unless I get min damage or stuff like that. He's going to switch into Gera, and after the Stealth Rock damage, it's going to do, after the Stealth Rock, but I did get Intimidated. Crunch does a shitload. I was surprised how much he did. I was like, TGS, god damn it. But he's going to substitute, predicting my switch. I could have stayed in and crunched, which would have been a better play, but I was like, okay, he is scared of my TGS right now. He has to go for the Waterfall. So I switched into my Celebi. Seeing the substitute, I was like, fuck, he probably has the bounce. Make a misplay here, going for the Giga Drain. Stupid mistake on my part. I should have recovered knowing that he would bounce, but I thought he would try to go for the Dragon Dance behind the sub. But I recover here. Bounces are doing quite a bit, doing the same amount as recover is recovering. So after the Dragon Dance, this thing can be scary. And, this Gera fucked me up. I mean, that's kind of embarrassing to almost get swept by a Gera because it sucks so much. I know you all probably like Gera, but honestly, it's a bad Pokemon. I'm gonna go into my Scizor because I'm trying to fodder it out now. Looking at his team, I don't quite need Scizor. Only thing I need Scizor for is probably Latios, but, I know foddering a Scizor isn't a great thing to do, but I need a free switch into my Rotom because I'm Choice Scarf. I can outspeed him after the +1. Go for the Volt Switch just to outspeed him and get the Volt Switch thing going on. Break the sub. Go into my Tyranitar now just to get the sand up because I thought he would want to go for the bounce because Volt Switch was just too obvious, and I thought he would predict my Volt Switch into Celebi. But that's not the case. He goes for the Waterfall. I lose my Weather Guy, which is unfortunate, but I can go into my Rotom now and just go for the Volt Switch. So he has to either take some damage on some other guys or just sack his Gera at this point. He decides to sack his Gera. Wow, I cannot talk. But Going to my Latios now. My Latios is expert belted, and honestly, I don't want to use Latios anymore because it kind of sucks now. Fucking stupid ass Pokemon. But you know, he's gonna protect to scout what I'm trying to do. I'm just gonna go for the Psyshock, and I don't want to quite reveal that I am expert belted just yet. So I'm gonna go for the Psyshock on the Ferrothorn. I could have gone for the HP fighting, but I don't want to quite do it yet, so I'm going to go into my Heatran as he, I think, predicts that and goes into his Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash has taken some more Stealth Rock damage. I mean, you know, whatever. I'm just going to protect to see what he wants to lock himself into. He decides to go for the Trick. It means I can get a free switch into my own Rotom Wash on his Trick, but he's going to predict that No, what he should have done, he should have gone into his Ferrothorn? No, not Ferrothorn, something else, but he made a bad play here going into Politoed, and it means that something has to take a Volt Switch, which will be a Ferrothorn. Obviously, you won't do all that much, but, you know, any damage is damage. So, right here, I'm going to go back into Heatran, you know, kind of same scenario thingy. We've been through this already. Right here, I do believe is gonna switch out or go for the Leech Seed. I don't quite. Yeah, he switches out and goes into his Politoed, and I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna Lava Plume whatever. And in the rain, Lava Plume is kind of like 4 times resisted on the Politoed, I guess. Doesn't do quite as much as I hoped it would. I'm just gonna protect, and he goes to the Scald, and right here I'm gonna predict him to predict my switch out. So I'm just gonna stay in and go for the Toxic. Exactly what happens because he tries to Toxic me, and you know, that is great because I need to take down this Politoed, and now I can protect and do some annoying shenanigans. So as I said, oh, he's going to predict the protect here, so go into his Latios, protect fails, whatever. I believe I'm going to go straight for the... Yeah, I know that even a Surf in the Rain is not going to do all that much just because he is leftovers as opposed to Choice Specs or Expert Belter or Life Orb for that matter. But I'm going to go for the Toxic, get him Toxic because leftovers, whatever. Now I go for the Protect, which was kind of a bad play. He predicts that, goes for the Calm Mind. I didn't quite see the Calm Mind on this thing, but I thought it's just leftovers for attacks. It could have been substitute, you know, whatever. Shows me the Calm Mind, not the greatest thing, but I need my Heatran for the Ferrothorn. So I'm going to go into my Celebi knowing that I can sponge those Surfs. As he goes for the Dragon Pulse does quite a bit, and I need the Celebi. Basically, my Celatran core right here, as soon as I take down the Latios, he has nothing to break my Celatran core, so I can basically fuck him up with it. I decide to sack my Latios because I don't quite need it. At this point, I have like 3 guys, I think Rotom and Celatran core. Celatran is my way of winning this, so I have to keep them alive. Go into my Rotom, and good thing I have HP Ice. The reason I have HP Ice is to outspeed Dragonites after +1 and after Stealth Rock damage, and you know, that's super effective HP Ice. So he's gonna go into his what's it called, Ferrothorn, switch back into Heatran, whatever. I guess he predicts that again, but the thing is, he has nothing to take this Celatran core, and this Rotom, now I'm gonna protect to see what he wants to do. He goes for the Volt Switch, and I'm not quite sure how, you know, I don't want to take some unnecessary damage on my Celebi at this point because it's going to be Stealth Rock and Volt Switch. So I'm going to sack my Rotom at this point, and you know, as long as I get a recover up with my Celebi, I'm good in this battle. So he goes into Politoed here. I'm just going to go into my Celebi because I can outspeed and kill him with the Giga Drain. And get some health back, so which is always great. Get the Giga Drain off, get some health back, and at this point, I know that I can survive a Hydro Pump in the rain because it is Choice Scarfed, I believe, his Rotom. He goes into Breloom though, and this Giga Drain, I don't have HP Fire, but this Giga Drain crits him. I don't think it mattered just because it was like, what, 10% health? Probably didn't matter because stab Giga Drain. Goes into Rotom now. The only thing he can do to me is Trick, and as soon as Rotom dies, the game is mine because his last will be a Ferrothorn, and a Ferrothorn won't be able to, you know, outstall my Heatran without the Protect. That's no that. But he is at around 55-ish%. I'm just gonna stay in because I don't want to switch on the seed, because if I switch my Heatran on the seed, I could have a little bit of problems. So I'm just staying here, trying to go for the Giga Drain. It's just, you know, because I'm locked into it, because I'm Choice Scarf right now. He's just going for the Leech Seed, I guess, kind of, you know, predicting my switch, but I do believe he's going to go for the Gyro Ball here. I was like, well, I could switch my Heatran on a Gyro Ball, but I'll just let my Celebi die, you know, whatever, fuck it. So exactly what happens is Gyro Ball. I do believe I'm going to survive this one, but the next one I'm going to die, of course, because like 17 HP. Then go into my Heatran. At this point, it's over for him unless he randomly has Bulldoze that he hasn't showed me yet. And you know, if he does have Protect, but you know, he is not at full, so he's like what is it, like 65% health. I'm gonna go for the Lava Plume. You know, of course, does around 40%. He goes for the Leech Seed. Is going to recover quite a bit, and that's why, you know, if he had Protect there, he could have maybe outstalled me, but it's highly unlikely. But whatever. Lava Plume again. This is going to be the game 1-0. Pretty cool game. Was difficult to narrate, to be honest, but you know, whatever. If you enjoy this, give it a like. Swing by my channel to see some more Pokemon battles, and I guess, yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Mefesto.